after the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. That burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go! Go, 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 go.
What's good, Washington Commanders fan? All right, looks like them dog days of summer is among us. Today marks training camp 9, and boy, all I can say is the heat is on. We have seen a couple of incidents where players getting into it on certain teams. And it was only a matter of time before the Washington Commanders experienced their own trials and trepidation in this hot weather today. Now, for all week, training camp has been good, has its highs, has its lows. But nevertheless, the offense has been struggling against the defense. And that, like I said, that plays a very significant part because it's only going to make the offense a little bit better. Playing against, you got to think, Washington's defense was top 5 in all categories last year. All categories. All right. They didn't even have Chase Young. And they did suffer some injuries here and there, but they still maintain. You come into the season with a new offensive coordinator and you have a new quarterback. Well, you got one you picked up in free agency, and you got one ever on the roster, which is Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. But nevertheless, they are getting used to certain formations that Airbnb is bringing, and they can't grasp it. Now, maybe next year in training camp, the offense will be able a little bit more crisp. They'll be able to execute. But right now, the defense has their number. The defense been talking mad and trash to them, calling them out, and and it's just trash talk. Even Terry McLaurin getting into it, Chase Young, Sam Kazi, all of these guys, and it's just what it does. Sam Kazi got into it with Federa Mathis, and which Federa Mathis been getting it handed to him in camp because Mason Brooks been getting it to him. You know what I'm saying? So, and it seemed like, Federa Mathis, he is working his way back. It's not like he's, fully healthy. So, excuse me, good grief. So it's not like, he's been there a year and he hasn't been injured and stuff. But nevertheless, he's been getting handled. You know what I'm saying? Khalid Hudson also took exception of a block that Nick Gates did. And this is where we want to see our offensive line. We want to see our offensive line be nasty. You know what I'm saying? Not getting pushed around by DNs and stuff like that. But nevertheless, the defense still been having it. Now, Ron Rivera did say he likes the chippiness of the team. But I think some of the chippiness is really getting too much. You don't want to, because you don't want it to cause injury or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, is what it is. Linebacker Cody Barton, he got into it, with some teammates. It's typical training camp. Frustration, hot, it happens. But nevertheless, this is what's going on. Now, like I said, the offense has been up and down throughout the whole camp. Airbnb hasn't been happy about it, and he's been letting them guys know because they not playing, they're not executing. And I'm not making excuses for them, but at the same sense, these guys are learning a new language. Good grief, man. Um, so the defensive players were happy, and they was letting the offense know that they playing like trash. You know what I'm saying? Terry McLaurin got even fired up. He got pissed off at, you know, Benjamin St. Jude for making contact with Cole Turner, and then he just stood over him and he told him, he said, "Hey, you need to pick your teammate up." So it's what it is, man. It's what it is. I just think that it's training camp. I mean, how can you make any more of it? Nah, not really. Every enemy was yelling at them. You know, according to Nikki Javala of Twitter, said that stop the dumb shit and do your fucking job. But that's just pretty much what he said. And Terry told Benjamin St. Jude, hey, you can't do that stuff to your teammate. So, and then you got to think about it, because if they do it in the practice and they do it in the game, what's going to happen? You're going to get a penalty. Then you're going to give up yards where you not need. Say if it's third down and you make a good stop and you're standing over guy, the ref going to throw a flag. So I understand you want to have all that chippiness and you want to, get that toughness, which I agree. The Commanders need toughness, because last year they didn't seem like they had any toughness in them at all. But at the same time, you don't want to injure your guy. You don't want to take that into the game where it's going to cost you. And you're thinking you're getting yelled at by every enemy now or Jack Del Rio. You definitely, it's going to give you 10 times worse. But like I said, Ron Rivera said he wasn't concerned about the skirmish or the chippiness, but I think he should be concerned. I think they need to tone it down a little bit, in which they have, because we had a couple of injuries. We had a couple of injuries where Emmanuel Forbes tweaked his groin. He said he was fine. He said that he's good and everything like that. I think for the most part, I think he should rest a little bit. Not trying to, because he's been going hard. He's been going like really, really hard. We lost Abada. We lost him, with a tricep injury. So now we had to sign somebody else and bring them in. So the list of injury report: Logan Thomas, calf strain; Emmanuel Forbes, groin; Curtis Hodges, hamstring; Cody Barton, hip flexor; Sadiq Charles, calf strain. All to be determined day to day for now, per Ron Rivera. So we just gonna have to keep an eye on them guys. But nevertheless, I think Forbes will be fine, just a groin, but you don't want that to be lingering. We know how that was with Curtis Samuel when he first came with us. Logan Thomas, I think he's been going hard. That calf strain, he over the weekend they could ice that out, see how it is. Curtis Hodges, hamstring, same thing. Hip flexor, Cody Barton, that could be a little lingering thing also. Sadiq Charles, calf strain, same thing with Logan Thomas. It's just some tightness and soreness and probably going hard. Now they probably gonna have to just take a little bit, because guess what? Next week they got to get ready for their first preseason game. Now some of these guys gonna play, half of them ain't gonna play in the preseason game. So it's what it is. It's not like these guys been in OTAs or pre-training camp, mandatory. But at the same time, with Logan Thomas with the calf strain, it's precautionary. Same thing with cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. He had a good practice Friday, but actually with a groin injury. Forbes assured that he was fine. So we're going to have to take his word for it. CD Charles still battling with a calf injury. He is in a battle with Chris Parr for the starting left guard. If Sadiq Charles continue to have this injury linger all through training camp and preseason, Chris Parr could easily take that job from him. He easily could shift into that role where he need, and then Sadiq Charles are gonna have to fight back for it. Jamie Davis went to court today. There was no update of him, but he's been at practice so far. So hey, it's what it is. But nevertheless, there's no, they've been fortunate to avoid serious major injuries. So hopefully this will not, this won't be bad, and they could rest up for the weekend and do the things that they need. So we'll see. We definitely will see. We definitely will see. But nevertheless, man, it's what it is. It's nothing, but I do think the offense do need to step up a little bit, play a little bit better, be more crisp, because the defense is having a way. And now, some people say training camp, this don't really mean nothing, but if these guys looking and they struggling against our defense, imagine what they're gonna do against really good, defense that's probably a little bit better than our defense, or has a better blitz package. And the offensive line still is a question mark. Have we gotten better? Yeah, we have, but it's still a question mark. And I definitely want to see these guys come out and play and show that they have grown through camp this summer. So we'll see. But nevertheless, man, we have, like I said, we have avoided major injuries so far. But these dog days of summer is here, man, and temper's gonna continue to be flared until these guys start hitting other guys. That's just the way it is. Until they start hitting another team, they gonna take it out on each other, and then But I think it should be toned down a little bit. Because you don't want these guys to go so far where we do get a serious injury and stuff like that. And then guess what? We're going to have to look for somebody to bring in to replace that guy. And then it's going to take time to do that. So tell me what you think, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell every time I drop a hardcore video. Until then, see you when I see you.